Hi, teacher.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Good, very good. So today I thought we'd talk about habits and routines. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So with the habits, well, first what we talked about last week was what we used to do, right? So we talked about the past. With habits and routines, we usually talk in the present, right? In fact, we always talk in the present, and we use frequency. So, for example, what I can say is that I always go um, to the office on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, right? Or I always brush my teeth in the morning, right? I sometimes go to the gym 3 times a week, right? So if you can just talk a little bit about your routine or what you do every day. So what do you do every day?
Every day I go to the class, and after class, I always go to the library to study
Okay.
until 19, uh, until 9, 20, until 21 and 45 p.m.
Okay, so until 20:45, so that would be 8:45 p.m. Okay, so that's 9:45 p.m. 9:45 p.m.
because because our library closed at that time.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's a very long day. So you stay at the library until 9:45 at night?
If I have a spare time, I always go to the library.
You always go to the library. Okay. But that's a lot. That's a long day. What time do you wake up normally?
Um, if I have a class, I always wake up at 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock, okay. And then what do you do in the mornings? What is your routine in the mornings?
I always eat a breakfast and go to the class because I don't need reading in the morning. Some part students need take part in the morning reading.
Okay. So what is a morning reading? What does that mean? What do you do in the morning? Is it morning reading? Is that what it
Yes,
means?
morning reading.
What is that?
Some people need to writing English and speak and repair English test.
Okay.
But I have already passed.
Oh, good. Okay, so you don't have to do that now. That's good. So in the mornings, you.
In the China,
Mhm.
uh, in the China college, everyone must pass a English test. That means CET score.
Okay. And in the mornings, you have to do a reading, or you choose to do the reading in the morning. Is it like a homework every day?
Yes.
Homework.
Just
Okay.
to someone if some don't pass this test, they must to go to the morning reading. But if you pass, you can sleep until you go to the class.
Okay, so they must go to the test to pass it, right?
So
Okay, good.
yes.
Okay, perfect. So then, in the morning, do you usually take a shower, or do you usually wait to take a shower in the evening?
I take shower in the uh, in their um, in the midday, midday, midday.
Midday. Okay, so midday is like afternoon,
Yes,
right? So you can say either midday or
yes,
afternoon. Perfect. So in the midday you take a shower. Okay, in the afternoon.
yes. Because I think if I take shower in the morning, that is so too early. I can't get up, and
Yeah.
in the evening, I I go to the library and returning my uh, dormitory. My dormitory people my dormitory in the China dormitory have lots of people, have big people. Uh, the more even have 8 people.
Wow.
Yes. When they take a shower, have a long time, I must wait. So I choose in the midday.
That's good, right? So you have more time and less people, right? Less people. Where you live? Do you live in a dormitory and like on campus? Do you live on the school's campus?
So,
So dormitory, a dormitory is like a building where students live. Do you live in a building like that?
my dormitory is very small. And in China, lots of school. That school is not like the Tsinghua or Beida. That dormitory is so small and it's not very good. It's bad.
Okay,
And
right.
it's so small. Everyone, 6 people in our school, 6 people live in the around 20 meter,
20
20
meters.
meter.
Wow,
Yes.
that's very small.
It's so small, and 6 people will always have a high bed and have a 2 bed. The high and the low. Yes.
Bunk beds.
And in Hainan, in this city, have the bed always always small, and it is uh, it is um, it is that it's so small
9
bed.
by 2 meters. Is that meters?
Meter.
Oh wow, that's really small. Yeah.
Yes.
So it's uncomfortable to stay there.
Yes.
You just sleep there, really. Yeah.
Yes.
That's why you go to the library all the time, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's difficult to study, I'm sure, in that. Yeah.
Yes.
So in the showers, is it communal showers? So, for example, like at the gym, everyone's in the same place.
Camel. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Camel take shower, and we always have a one shower.
Okay. Yeah, that's
6
difficult.
people.
Wow, that's difficult. That's really difficult. Yeah. So, okay, I understand why you take a shower in the afternoon then. So, if you take a shower in the afternoon, what else do you do? Well, first, the breakfast, because I love food. So, what do you eat for breakfast? What do you normally eat for breakfast?
I always eat rice.
With anything else, or just rice?
Always rice, because rice in the store always can easily found. If I get up later, I buy a rice and I can go to class quickly.
Okay. Do you have anything else to eat in the morning? So, for example, you have the rice, but then do you have a snack in the morning, or you wait until lunch?
The
Do you eat a snack? So a snack is like something very light, something that's like the
I don't have time to eat
yeah.
snack.
Yeah, yeah. So it's just a
Our
normal.
class always 2 or 3 class connect.
Oh wow, so you're in class for 2 or 3 hours
Uh,
or more?
One more. Always one class is 45 minutes, and we always connect the 3 class.
Okay, right. So it's about 2 hours, 2 3 hours. Yeah. Okay, so how many classes do you have each day? How many classes do you have to go to each day? Normally.
Every day class is different.
Mhm.
And every week is different. Um, sometimes in the first in the in the in the start in the beginning I had lots of class, but near the ending I don't have lots of class because we must prepare text.
So at night? Is it at night? I have lots of classes. I have a lot of classes. Or you said in the dark at night? Yeah.
No, it's in the in the term in the term begins. I have lots of class every
Oh.
day.
So at the beginning of the term, right? At the beginning of the term.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Oh, okay. So you have lots of classes in the beginning, but then at the end you don't have that many classes?
Uh,
Okay.
yes.
So,
And but in the ending of the term, my class gradually little because we must prepare our text. In Chinese colleges, we have the text weekend. That's always 2 weekends.
2 weekends. Okay. And the 2 weekends you were preparing for the exam in those 2 weekends? Okay.
We always prepare
For the 2 weekends.
for major class.
Oh wow. Okay. So what are your classes now? So if you had to tell me your schedule this week, for example. So Mondays you have anatomy. Tuesday, what is your schedule today or this week?
Example.
So for example, Mondays I have anatomy, right? So what is your schedule like today?
The last weekend, that is tomorrow, I only have 4 class. The first and the second is connect, that is English, and
Okay.
the third and the fourth, that is that is my major. That is systemic and anatomy.
Anatomy. Okay. Perfect.
Yes.
So it's just English and anatomy?
English.
And anatomy. And is that it, or is there more? You have more classes, yeah?
English.
So you are taking 2 classes now? 2 classes or more classes than 2? 3 classes?
International. Yes. In my school, always every school have English because in China very taking part. English is very important. We must pass that. And every day, even until the term ending, we every week have the English class.
Wow.
That isn't 30 class.
Wow. Okay. And why do you think that English is so important now? Why do you think people are always studying English?
Can teacher send to
Mhm.
me?
Yeah, why is English class important? So I'll say. So why is English class important? Do you think?
I think English is an international language,
Mm.
and someone say because of American, that is the biggest country in the world, and its major language is English. So the international common language is English. Everyone should control the English, and English everywhere can know.
Mm-hmm. And do you speak English every day?
Read it, write it.
Either write it or do you speak? Do you speak English every day? Is that part of your routine? So do you speak English every day?
I'm not speaking every day, but I every day study English. Every day, I listen and learn the English news. Some software about English in the China. My mother makes me take part in a lot of software class, and she wants me study English well. And particularly, we are the medical students. Teacher side, the clinical medicine is from the Western country, so we must study English.
Yeah, and practice, right? It's a lot of practice, right? To learn a language, you have to practice every day, either write it or speak or read. Do you read English? Are you reading books in English? Yeah? In English. So are you reading like fictional books or books for fun?
Yes.
Yeah? Do you like to read in English or is it difficult?
I read English books. I read in English our English test.
Yeah.
But I have another I like to read another English book, but that is in order to improve my English talent. I read the book. This book was about three couples form a movie. That name is I searched that English name. The Pursuit of Happiness.
Pursuit of Happiness. Oh, it's a very good book. Yeah. That was with Will Smith, I think, right? Pursuit of Happiness. It's a very good book. It's a movie also, right?
Yes, it always have a book, and I think that book is taught our nonsense.
It's very powerful book. Yeah, a very powerful book. How often do you read in Chinese or in English? How often do you read a book?
English. My mother wants to me improve my English.
So then, how often do you read a book?
Every day I read, but I can't read so long because the word I can't understand. I must search it one by one.
Yeah, I'm the same. I live in Spain and I am learning Spanish. And I read in Spanish, but I have to stop and look in a dictionary for the words. It's very difficult. Yeah, sometimes it's very slow, right? Very, very slow. So I can understand. Yeah.
Yes.
There's a lot of very good books in English though to read, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
I think it's very hard.
it is hard. It is. It's very difficult sometimes to understand, especially for me. It's difficult to understand humor. So when something is funny, sometimes I don't know why it's funny in Spanish. So yeah, sometimes it's difficult, especially with a book, right? And how are you doing with the writing? Are you able to write in English?
In the reading.
To write. So, I
Uh,
mean, if you're reading, are you able to write in English as well? Or type, right?
uh, um, I can write a little about the 105, 50 and 15 word from the 200 words.
Okay.
Because our text master request us ask us to write the small easy.
Mm-hmm. Right. Okay. So you have to write for those classes, right? Yeah. That's good. That's good practice. That's very good practice. So, so let's talk about your routine again. Talking about things that are fun. So how often do you go to the movies? How often?
Go to movie.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't have lots of work, I like go to the movie about 2 weeks.
Okay, so I go to the movies every 2 weeks. Okay, so that's how we would say that. I go to the movies every 2 weeks. It's good. 2 weeks is good. So about twice a month then, right? Almost twice a month you go to the movies if you don't have a lot of work, right? Yeah. How often
Yes,
do you?
but if I have lots of
Yeah.
work, 2 months.
2 months, yeah. Every 2 months, yeah. And you love the movies, right? You like going to see like the Disney movies, like Frozen. I remember that. You like Frozen a lot, right?
Yes.
Is there a movie that you want to see now? What movie do you want to see?
I like to see the science fiction film.
Oh, okay. Science fiction. Is there a movie that you want to see
Yes.
that is out now?
Mm,
I can't think of any science fiction.
in the past,
Mm-hmm.
I looked at movies. I most like is I most like is the Interstar. Interstellar. That is so that is I searched that English name.
Okay. So can you explain it to me? What is it?
That is that. I sent it a picture.
Okay.
That is that.
Interstellar. Oh.
Yes.
Oh, very good. Interstellar. So I haven't seen this movie. Is it good? Or have you seen it? Have you seen the movie?
Yes, I
Yeah.
have seen it. I think that is a very good movie, and can it attracts people's eyes.
Yeah, it's a good example of a science fiction movie, right? And I've heard it's very powerful. It's a really strong and powerful movie, right? That's good. So how often do you see movies like science fiction? How often would you see a science fiction movie?
In the school, I must I must ask my roommate advice. But if I in the vacation, summer vacation or winter vacation, if I search have a science movie, I always go to with my mother.
Oh, nice. Very good. Does she like science fiction movies too? Does she like to watch science fiction movies?
Because my mother likes me, so I like she likes.
That's good, right? She likes to go with you, so she goes to the movie. Yeah, she doesn't care what movie it is. That's right. That's good. So what else do you like to do for fun, and how often? So for example, I like to walk in the park 3 times a week, right? What do you like to do?
So what time?
And how often? So for example, I like to walk in the park, right? I walk in the park 3 times a week, right? So how often do you do something that you like to do?
I like to go to the park too,
Okay.
but our school don't have the park.
Oh, okay.
It is, I think it's in the suburb.
Oh, okay. It's okay. Suburb.
Yes.
So you don't really have a chance to go to the park then, right? You never do. So you never go to the park? You never go to the park? Well, now.
If I return my city, my hometown, I like to go to the park even 2 days a week.
2 days a week, okay.
But in my university city, I can't have chance to go to the park.
Yeah. I go to the park 2 times a week. Good. That's perfect. Yeah. So when I go home, I go to the park 2 times a week. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's difficult when you live in a dormitory and are going to classes all the time and when there's no park. That's hard, right? There's no park, then you can't go to the park. Yeah. Okay, good. Okay, so let's just do a quick review. So what is one thing that you always do? One thing that you always do every day?
I always do every day study.
Studying, perfect. So I study every day, right? I study every day. Or you can say I always study, right? I always study. Good. And what is something that you never do? One thing that you never do?
I never play the game.
I never.
In the phone.
I never
Play games in the phone.
play gym.
I never play games in the smartphone.
Play gin on the smartphone. Okay, so you never played like the game on the smartphone. Okay, perfect, good. So I never play the game. Perfect. And something that you do often. What is something that you do often?
Okay.
Often. Often is a little bit less than always, right? So maybe 4 times a week, 5 times a week. For example, I often exercise.
Often.
Mm-hmm.
Often. I often to make to buy on the internet.
I often buy online. Good. I often buy online. Very good. Me too. I'm the same. I often buy online too. Perfect. Okay, good. Well, that was good. So next week we can continue this and we'll talk a little bit more about habits and routines. It's good to practice. Okay? All right. I'll talk to you Thursday. Okay? Okay. Talk to you then.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.